What's up, Ronan? Guys, let me know if you can see me and hear me. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, they're going to keep this one short today. Short like me. Most of you have never actually seen me, so that joke doesn't really make any sense to you, but that's okay. Just getting a couple things set up, and if you have any questions, fire away. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use the fancy new ask a question feature on Instagram rather than just do a video today. So you're going to get to watch me pose for a selfie here in just a second. Better yet, let's do this. Crap. Sometimes when I use certain apps, I remember that I'm almost 40. What is going on here? Oh, I know why. Bear with me. That's weird. It won't upload. Well, Instagram is broken, so. All right, questions starting to roll in. Over on YouTube, Sano says, "What's here, mate?" Here is our weekly Ask Me Anything, so ask me anything. I'm having all sorts of technical difficulties today. That's my aggravated voice. Give me 1 second here. All right. If you are watching on YouTube, you can join us on Facebook at superstarseo.com/Facebook. And if you prefer to watch on YouTube, you can check it out at superstarseo.tv. All right. Ronan says, how would you go about getting followers to a new Facebook group? Facebook ads. That's definitely one way. If you don't have any existing customer base, ads and content would be the way to go. So like, I would create some videos or some blog posts, run some ads to those, and then have the group advertised in those, if that makes sense. Other ideas, you can try direct ads as well. That helps. If you have existing customers of any kind, do that. Get some family and friends to get in it. If the real trick is to get the first, the first 1,000, and then after that, Facebook will start recommending it. But yeah, do some ads, do some what do you call them? Certain display network ads on Google, and do lots of content that links to it. So that's kind of where you start. Alex says, "What's up, Chris? What's up, Alex? With it being Friday the 13th, are you superstitious about anything?" No, I'm not. I was gonna make a joke about that, but no, I'm really not. I just believe that you have power over your own life. So. Jimmy says, this is over on YouTube, "Hey, Mr. Walker, must I verify my Google My Business before appearing on maps?" Not 100% of the time, but for the most part, yes. What's the best way to make $100 USD in a week? If you only want to make $100, getting a job. But if you're talking about making money online, the first thing I would do is sell some sort of service, like Legiit or something like that. Whether it's SEO, logos, graphics, whatever. Or if you want to get more than that, I would try to get clients. So getting a client, you go from having 0 to having 500,000, 1,500, whatever you can get. So those would probably be the 2 fastest ways, I'd say. But no, I'm not superstitious at all. I believe you are the master of your own destiny. So Russell Freddie Edmonds joined, so now it's a party. Ronan says Khabib or McGregor. Khabib would absolutely maul him because McGregor is a fraud. Probably just lost a few subscribers, but that's okay. Russell says, hey, man, what did I miss? We actually already gave out the refreshments, so you're going to have to go without. You put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I'm going to try Instagram one more time. That's very weird. It's saying it can't refresh my feed. I hope I didn't get hacked like Becker did. Sorry about this. It's real professional, right? All right. Adrian says, hi, Chris. What can you say about PBN? Is it becoming spammy and less valuable in rankings on Google? No, but it's becoming more and more important to be relevant. So before you could get, generalnewssite.org and put links to whatever, and that would work. And that still works to some degree, but now a less powerful domain with a lot more relevance. So like a plumber domain would help a plumber a lot more than a powerful non-relevant domain. But no, they're not like less valuable or anything. You just have to adapt how you do them. Fortune says, are you into MMA? I am. I don't like it as much as WWE because I don't think it's I think it gets kind of boring sometimes. I think it's evolved to a point where they don't do a lot, and that style of fighting is rewarding, but I still do enjoy it. Sino says, what's your recommendation, max bounty versus ClickBank, and how to make the most fast sales with AM affiliate marketing? Of those two, I would pick ClickBank. And to get sales quickly with affiliate marketing is not a quick way to make money, but I would do YouTube reviews, like maybe get products and just review them on YouTube and rank for the product review type thing. That's usually pretty easy to do. Frankie says, go to Hollywood. No, I'm just kidding. Frankie says, I'm planning on generating leads through AdWords for my clients in the meantime until they start to rank. Where can I get some training for AdWords? I don't want to become an AdWords expert. I just want this as a short-term solution. Any suggestions? Course-wise, there aren't very many good AdWords courses in my experience. It's definitely a big hole in the market. I don't feel like I know it well enough to teach it comprehensively. What I would do is figure out who is ranking and use SpyFu to steal their keywords and just outbid them. That's probably the easiest way. Kirill says, Superstar SEO Academy is the best SEO training online that I am in. Get your free trial today. And he saved me from having to do a plug, so thank you. Sino says, thanks, thank you. Russell says, man, see, you got to show up on time. I had some I was going to come up with something funny there, and the thought went away. Alex says, I have 55 clicks for my Superstar SEO affiliate account, but 0 conversions. Any tips? How are you getting the clicks? Like, how are you going about generating people to it? It may be the wrong type of people clicking on it. So if you can tell me a little bit more what you're doing, I might be able to help you out a little more. But clicks that doesn't give me enough information. Like if I stuck it, in just any random group, I could probably get a handful of clicks. So it probably has to do with the audience. So let me know how you're going about getting the traffic, and then we can kind of break it down. Kirill says, France or Croatia to win the World Cup? I have no idea. This is not a sport that interests me even in the slightest. So Russell says, what do you prefer, Chris, MailChimp or Market Hero? I give Market Hero a slight edge on that. They're both nice programs, but Market Hero gives you a little bit more freedom, and it's a little more user-friendly to set up your email funnels. Hi, Chris. What about Google Map Pack? Can you explain its benefits? The benefit is that it's right there at the top, first of all. So it's one of the first things that people see. It has more information, so there's a little bit more built-in trust. And I don't know about anybody else, but before I knew what SEO was, I thought that the stuff there was based on how good of a business it is. I now know that not to be the case, but being there will help your client because I'm sure other people think that too. Matthew Bennett says, yo, what's up, Matthew? Frankie says, haha. We got Amar, we got Clifton, we got Carl. And it's nice that it's telling me who's joining today. These things are literally different every single week, the way that Facebook does it. So if you saw me cringe just a minute ago, it's because I had a notification on Facebook, and it was that I had reached my payment threshold, which always hurts. ASIM says, hi, Chris. For some reason, I could not post my questions on Facebook. I don't know what to tell you, buddy, but other people are posting them without issue. So I don't know what to tell you. Jeff has joined, so now it's a party. Brian says, hi, what's the best thing to do with a Google My Map? Embeds, backlinks. I would do it at least an embed and then do backlinks too. Jordan says, I'm getting lag. Is it just me? Maybe my phone sucks. I don't know. No one else has complained other than Asim said he couldn't post his questions. So, hi, Chris. How many citations are required to rank top 3 in Google Maps? In SEO, there is never an answer to any question that starts with how many of X. You definitely want to get the base ones, your Yelp, Foursquare, YP.com, and so on. And then from there, you want to at least match your competition, and you want to make sure that they're powered up properly. Let's see. Lots of questions today. Adrian says, does Google custom map creation have bearing in SEO and Google rankings? I think that they do, yes. I think it's worth building 100 or so of them. They're not as powerful as they used to be because they don't index, but that doesn't mean that Google doesn't know that they're there. It just means that they've chosen not to show them as a search result. So there was a discussion about that in the group this week, actually. Matt says, where did you get that skateboard? Actually, Scott Allen made that for me. He's an artist as well as being in. Actually, you know what? It is kind of choppy for me today too. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. So sorry about that. I got that Scott actually made that for me. So yeah, he's a very talented artist. Jeff says your phone sucks. Talking to Jordan. Amar says thanks. Carlos says, tag somebody. Amber's here. Hi, Amber. Holy fudge. That was for you, Amber. Asim says, question 1. You said that you hit your Web 2.0s with PBN links. I didn't necessarily say that. I say you can do that. What is your result? What is this result with your strategy? Is that recommended strategy given the fact that we can make Web 2.0 rich, niche relevant, and powered up? Yeah, you kind of answered your own question there. If you have PBNs that aren't relevant, you can hit the Web 2.0s that are relevant and kind of pass the power on that way. It's not quite the same, but it's a good alternative if you don't have relevant PBNs. Amber says, Helene says, lots of people on today. I'm glad to see that. Hi, Chris. Is ranking in Google Maps the same as ranking in the 3-pack? Yeah, it's just different ways of saying the same thing. Adrian says, WooCommerce or Shopify for drop shipping? Ultimately, it doesn't matter, but I would say Shopify because it's a little more secure and requires a little less setup. That's what I have the Legiit merch store available at legitmerch.store on. And this is the first Shopify that I had really done, and I enjoyed it and found it pretty straightforward. So I would lean towards that. WooCommerce is a bit hard to manage. Ron has joined. Hello, Ron. And we are caught up on questions. So I am going to plug Superstar Academy. Check out Superstar SEO Academy at superstarseo.com/trial, the greatest hit course literally in the history of the world, as voted by my mom. Grab some water. Dell has joined. What's up, Dell? I was going to make you're getting a Dell joke, but I don't want to be that guy. I'm going to try Instagram one more time. There we go. All right, hang on. Back. No, it's not going to work. There we go. And I did it wrong again. Posted. Yay. All right. Sorry about that. Ron says, Chris, bought a domain at auction and put up a site and didn't get indexed after a week. I created a search console report and it has a manual penalty from previous owner. Can I still use this after I get the penalty removed? Yes. I usually don't bother unless I paid an ungodly amount, but yes, you can. Amber says there is a button this week that you can click to be notified when you're live. I clicked that button and my name must have appeared. Oh, cool. Like I said, it changes all the time and in my opinion has a long way to go. So Carlos asks, is the Academy good for small business owners who do not know much about SEO? Yes. In fact, Jeff and I were talking about that the other day that we're surprised at how many of that type of person we got. Because I know we got Loren and we got Tyler and forgetting somebody. There's at least 3 or 4 people that we have. Buzz, I think, is one of those. And I would say that some of our more active members have been people that got in just to get their particular business ranked as opposed to become an SEO. And that's not something I anticipated, but they're getting good results. So yeah, I think that's good. Or I think I would say yes is the answer to that. You can't send thumbs up icons that float on the screen anymore? Yeah, it's letting me do it. See what I mean? It's literally different for everybody, and it's different every week. Get your act together, Zuckerberg. He takes what I say seriously. No, he doesn't. True story, when I got locked out of my Facebook last year because of some nonsense, I tweeted at him, I sent him messages on Instagram and every other Facebook account I could find, and nothing. And apparently people are now purposely showing Matt that you can do that. Frankie says, have you ever tried this new Google content posting stuff where you can post articles inside your Google My Business? Apparently it helps with map pack rankings, but not sure. Any thoughts? I saw it. I posted a couple when it first came out. I thought, hey, that's cool. And I've not touched it again. I haven't. I've seen people say that it helps with maps ranking. I haven't seen any data to back that up. When I do, I'll give it a shot. But I don't see how it could help. What are the methods to do in order to rank in Google Map Pack? I've got a post I made about a year ago, maybe it's 2 years ago now, on my site. I'm going to link you to it because there's too many to kind of go over here, but it'll walk you through it like step by step. So there you go. There's a link to that for you. It's not that I don't want to answer that. It's just there's like, it's a fairly long question. So Matt says, all I can. Ron says, I'm going to do a test and see if the Google post works. Oh, go for it. Yeah. It may. I don't know. To me, I don't see how it would help that much. I don't really even know where they show up. So I could be wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have any data to support or deny that they work or don't work. I don't believe in saying something unless I have information that corroborates it. I'm not sure if I'm using that right, but. Alrighty. Adrian says, thank you. Thank you, Adrian. Chris, do you use a good, better, best model for proposing SEO packages in your proposal for clients or one custom solution? Okay, so I have two answers to this. When I was doing agency and trying to actively get agency clients, I gave them one option because my thought was that I'm going to do the best I can for them regardless. So they got the one option. Plus, I think you give away a little bit of power if you offer too many options. That said, the shape I'm going on client getting is to offer the 3 packages in my DFY service that I'm going to go public with soon. And that will be based on the number of keywords that they want. So in that sense, I am doing it. But as far as what I recommend other people do is to create one offer and tell them that this is what it's going to take and this is what it's going to cost, because that way you keep the power in the relationship and you don't sell yourself short. And I don't know about you, but if I did offers packages and I had if somebody bought the small one, whatever that would even consist of, I would still end up doing the best work, the best one's work. And that's obviously not good. So that said, you could also offer one-off services like I'll optimize your Google business or something like that. So there are other ways. If you're looking for ways to gradually ease people into it, that's one thing you can do. Logan says, have you ever sent profile links to an inner page? Yeah. I treat my inner pages, if I'm trying to rank them for a specific thing, the same way I treat a homepage that I'm trying to rank. I treat them almost like an entirely separate site, except for maybe a couple things. So yes, I have. Thank you. I always feel like I'm doing a disservice to one or the other because I have to look at the different cameras. So, see if we got any questions on Instagram yet. And my internet is slow today. Not so far. All right, let's scroll back up. So there's a really long question here, and I can't see who it is, so I'm going to guess. My guess is it's Frankie. And it's Frankie. This is a lucky guess. And I hope that didn't come off as picking on you, because it wasn't. It really was just get me guessing based on who I could see. What's the best way to utilize tools like SendWire and SendLab so I can push videos that are on the second or third page, or if they are on the first page, to cement their spot? I have 700 plus networks inside the tools, so I can do lots of blasts. Want to know what's the safe range so I don't overdo it, but also don't want to underdo it. I know there's never an exact number, but a range. How many backlinks embeds? I'm not familiar with SendLab, so I can't advise on that, but with SendWire, I never do more than one blast unless I've added a bunch of new properties. I do one blast to all my properties and call it good. So that includes an embed and a link and bookmark statuses and so on. So do one and that's good. If you want to move it up, I'm finding that views help a little more, and not fake ass views that some people like to send to videos and things like that. Like actual getting it some traffic will help a little bit. Asim says, question 2A. I optimized a Web 2.0 to make it relevant to my money site. Now it outranked my money site. Both are on page 1, though. Should I de-optimize the Web 2.0? I would not. I would just keep working on the money site and it'll pass it eventually. Because that means you're doing your job right. That means you've got as much relevance passing as you possibly can. Plus, you're taking up that many more spots. So I'd say no. I would not de-optimize it. I would just keep working on the money site. I kind of answered your second question with the first question. So. Matt says, cool, thanks. Definitely want to do the best job possible regardless. And see, I'm the same way. And so if they bought the small package, I would still end up doing the full package's worth of work. So I just don't even bother with it. Adrian says, I'd like to see you talk on SMX convention or TED. Well, thank you, man. That means a lot to me. It's actually one of my goals for this year, but I don't really know how to go about it, is to speak on stage somewhere. But I appreciate you saying that. That means a lot to me. And I would love to do something like that too. I really want to get it to where I can speak on stage. I feel very comfortable with it. I don't know how to go about finding it, So, and I don't have any details, so don't ask me anything, but next year we're probably going to have a live event too. So look forward to that. Jordan says Google Fiber now. No more lag. Jeff recommended no phone. Well, there you go. Frankie says great guess. Yeah, and it literally was just a guess. So, yay me. Grab some water. Logan on YouTube says, I found a domain name that is super close to my keyword I'm currently ranking for. If I purchase this domain, what's the best way to power it up without getting penalized? Is it like an expired domain, or is it just a fresh domain? Can you answer that for me, and I can guide you a little better? Amber says, stand-up comedy for your stage time. Great. I am standing up, but I'm just so short that nobody can tell. But seriously, folks, try the veal. Cool. Brand new. Okay, so what I would do is set it up as kind of like what I call a pumper site. And so and then just kind of set it up as a regular site where it's like a pseudo PBN, and then just kind of link to it subtly to your money site. So basically do the same things you would to the main site and just link to it. And that way you get that extra power. So hopefully that makes sense. Fortune says, do you use Market Hero as your auto response? Yes. As my autoresponder? Yes, I do. Fortune, oh no, I already read that one. Asim says, question 3A, I'm planning on 5 Web 2.0s to make them super powerful and relevant PBNs for my money site. So should I interlink them, or should I consider them like real PBNs that stay independent? You can do either one. I tend not to interlink them, but I think it can work. Question 3B, what is the optimal roadmap to power up these Web 2.0s? Just hit them with, SendWire or some PBNs or both. Logan says, makes sense. Thanks. Okay, cool. Yeah, I actually do that. I have some EMDs that point to my money sites, and that's worked really well for me. And then you can use a little bit lower quality link because there's a buffer in between too. Asim says, question 3C. Should I purchase one unique article and spin it 5 times for the Web 2.0s, or buy 5 unique articles? You can do either one. Ron says, so what's your opinion for keywords in content? Keyword plus city or keyword in city to make it look more natural? It depends on the keyword. It depends on what you're targeting and what your keyword is. I'm assuming you're targeting keyword plus city. If you can find a way to work it in grammatically, then that's great. But If not, then you can do what you said. You do keyword in city and then just use your off page to do the one that doesn't make grammatic sense. Alan has joined. Alan is the funniest man on Facebook. Sorry to tell you to break that to you, Amber, but he's twice as funny as I am, and I enjoy his posts a lot. Alan says, the messenger chat bot that you are using, is it ManyChat? Yes, it is. It's the only one I found that doesn't have a ton of overhead and a really complicated interface. It has its own issues, but it's the best of the worst right now. Logan says, with YouTube videos, I had a couple of EMDs and just did a 301 redirect, but doing that to my money site made me nervous. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that to my money site. It doesn't help all that much. And I don't know. I used to do it, and it didn't have the effect that I had hoped that it would. It does help with videos, though. Ooh, lots of questions today. I'm excited. Frankie says, have you heard about this link video vortex tool where it creates link wheels for your YouTube videos and channels and passes internal link juice within YouTube? Are link wheels a real strategy, or is it some hubla mumbalo jumbalo? I'm not familiar with the tool. Interlinking your YouTube videos does help, though. YouTube likes that, at least with YouTube ranking. I don't know about so much with Google ranking, but YouTube likes that you're sending people to other places on YouTube. Becker actually recommends not linking off of YouTube at all in your YouTube videos. I still do, but his logic is sound and it's hard to argue with his results. So Logan says, what's a link wheel? It's basically where this property points to this property, points to this property, points to this property, and then the last one points back to the original, so it goes all the way around. Russell said, and for whatever reason, whenever I see his questions, I want to read his entire name, so I'm going to read your whole name. Russell Freddie Edmonds says, hey, Chris, I'm recording my own first video this weekend. Do you have any tips like do's and don'ts? Don't try to get it all out in one take. I did that in the beginning, and when I go back and watch them now, it's evident that I'm running out of like breath and voice and stuff by the end of it. So start talking. If you fudge up, you can, you pause it and edit it out later or just start over, but don't try to get it all out in one take. Also, don't worry about making it perfect because it's not going to be. When I look back at my earlier ones, I cringe. So do the best you can. Getting it out there is more important than getting it perfect. What's that expression? Progress is better than perfect. Yeah. So those are the main two kind of generic tips I can give. ASIM says, question 4B. Should the new citations for the second listing, I missed question 4A, I think. Question 4A, in response to a question about having a second listing for the same business in a new state, you said, treat the second listing as a new business. Could you please elaborate more on that? If you have more than one location, you need to treat it as an entirely different business. If you don't have another physical location, don't try to rank in maps. I know there are ways to do it, but I don't recommend it, and I don't teach it because it's asking for trouble. Question 4B, should the new citations for the second listing point to the homepage of they should point to the page that you're trying to rank for that Google My Business listing. So I hope that helps. Adrian says, Chris, what can you say about combining Article Forge and Word AI? Do they make unique/readable articles? If no, what can you suggest? I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not familiar with Article Forge, and B, I don't do any spinning at all. But I think that if you're going to use a spinner, Word AI is the one that I use. I'm not familiar with Article Forge, so I can't help you with that. Ultimately, though, to me, it's worth getting content written. So Russell Freddie Edmonds says, Alan's jokes keep my day going. Me too. And honestly, dude, talking to Alan now, if you created an Instagram out of that, you would have millions of followers in like no time. Not even kidding. Matt says, are you still in Becker's mastermind? I am going to his event in 2 weeks, actually. So yeah, still in. Actually, that reminds me, not next week, but the week after that, I am not going to be here, but Scott is actually going to pinch hit for me and handle the AMA that week. So it'll be something a little unique for you guys. Jordan is responding to Ron. He says, if you're writing content about plumbing in New York, you would want some variants. So some content can be exact match keywords, but a lot would be variance words in the content. One trick is to look at bolded text on page 1 search results from a desktop. Sackett joined. What's up, Sackett? Russell says, cheers, man. Cheers. Progress, not perfection. Yeah, there you go. Frankie says, planning on creating a course. Any tips on how to create and structure it and the content and have it finished as fast as possible? I plan to do the tweaking and improving as time goes on, but just don't know where to even start to watch a 40-hour IM course. What I do when I have mine is I write it out on paper. Like I write like the category and then the things in the category, and then I go on to the next one. And then I try to put them in sort of a logical flow. So that's something I found is lacking a lot of IM courses, so definitely try to stick to that. But try to get like a start here, and then the steps to do that start, and then go here, and then the steps to do that. And writing it out on paper really helps. And then if you're going to use like Kajabi or something like that, go in and create the entire skeleton of the course before you have any of the content made. That way you can just make the content, upload the video, make the content, upload the video, make the content, upload the video. That really helps me get it done a lot faster. So that's what I do. Hope that helps. Asim says, I'm Becker. If I may ask, that Becker did not feel pissed off because Legiit is now taking over and beating Conquer. We talked about it, and he gave me his full blessing. And he knows about it and has been very supportive of it. And he doesn't care that much about Conquer anyway, so there's no hard feelings about it. Still have a working relationship, and we're still friends. So I was a little bit concerned about that, but no. Logan says, how did you meet Becker? When I was selling on Source Market, he was developing Source Machine, and I was doing really well selling SynWire Blasts. And he was looking for someone that could kind of help like test it out and get it ready. So Gregory Ortiz, who I had met through Source Market, actually connected us. And then the first time we met in person was at OMG Live. So he's not going to dive into that too much, but he's a really good dude. And a lot of the bad stuff that gets said about him is very unwarranted. So, and he's actually very awkward in real life, which is interesting. So. Alan says, thank you for answering the questions and the compliment. Is it worth it while geotagging pictures and place keywords on the picture? This is aid increasing the rankings. Is it worth it while geotagging? Like actually in the image itself? No, I wouldn't bother with that. Like actually altering the way it looks, unless I'm reading that wrong. But no, if you're meaning to literally put it in the picture, no, I wouldn't bother with that. Asim says, what's your highest priority project in 2018? Legiit. I definitely want to get it to where I'm not going to give out my numbers, but there's a number I have in mind that we're almost at that I want to hit every single day in order to make a certain amount. But we're on pace to have well over $1 million in sales in our first year. So that's good, but it's not where I want it to be. So that's kind of my priority. And all the other businesses kind of work towards that goal. Logan says, have you ever thought about hosting an event? Yes. That's actually going to be something I try to do next summer. I probably have it here in Myrtle Beach, one, because I know the area, and plus it's kind of a cool place to go anyway. So yeah, definitely planning on having one of those probably next year. And actually I'm seeing Becker in a couple weeks. So I'm going to get some input on how to go about that, because I know it's something he's done. So yeah, definitely going to have a conference of some sort. I'm getting asked that a lot more too. So I'm starting to think there really is some interest. So plus I think it'd be cool. Which is one of the best reasons to ever do anything, is because you think it's cool. Alan, if I didn't answer your question right, let me know. But if you mean to literally put it in the image, no, that won't help at all. It might help in some other ways, like with conversion, but my feeling is it would not. All right, I'm gonna grab a drink of water while I catch back up on questions. Carl says, yeah, that sounds great for next year. Matt says a conference sounds awesome. You see, there you go. I'm going to have to start planning that out right away because I don't know anything about planning an event. So, that's not true. I did that back when I worked in politics. I had to plan events all the time. So I guess I do know a little bit about it. I've never had to plan one where I had to pay for stuff, though. Asim says, I know you work from home, yet you manage offshore VAs, right? If yes, how is that working? Any tips on managing people that you have never seen before in person? Well, first of all, I try not to think of them as VAs. I think of them as part of the team. I know that's kind of a nitpick, but to me, I treat them with more respect that way. I know it's a mental voodoo thing, but anyway, one of them I communicate mostly through Facebook with because that's just what's convenient for us. And then we organize things through Freed Camp. That's working out pretty well. Another one I talk to entirely through Upwork because that's what she is comfortable with. And then another one I mainly communicate with through email. She handles my support and some other things. Some of you may have spoken to her before. Tips, be organized. Stay on top of them, but don't micromanage them. Like, make sure they check in with you every day that they're scheduled to work, but don't dictate to them. I like to have more of a kind of a free is probably not the right word, but relaxed management style, and don't treat them like a VA. To me, that term, I know it's not meant to be, but to me, that term is derogatory and doesn't do justice to what they do, especially if you're letting them run a big part of your business. So keep up with them, encourage them, give them the freedom to make decisions, empower them to be part of your business, and make them feel like part of your team. And I think that's what's worked really well for me. Like George A., who works as my director of operations, is doing a great job. And that's the main way we communicate is through Facebook. So, and I think that it's mutually beneficial for everybody. So hopefully that answers that a little bit. Ooh, lots of questions. Ooh. Jordan says, happy 2 years from leaving your day-to-day. Big accomplishment. Working for the man sucks. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, technically it hasn't been 2 years. That was, I put in my notice there in May and I worked there until August, but that was at the point where I was comfortable letting the world know. And that happened to be today. So, 2 years ago today. So thank you. And yes, it does suck. And they were good people. Like, if in the event I ever see that, I'm still friends with a lot of them. Still, it's nothing against the job. It's just against the concept. Kirill says, I'll bring the best vegan platter to the conference. Awesome. I could use some, and I don't have a good example. Mushroom hummus or something. I don't know. Alan says, no, I meant in the details tab, filling out the information with keyword. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Optimize everything in the metadata on your images that you can. Unless you're talking about uploading it to WordPress, then don't bother. If you're uploading it to a WordPress site, WordPress strips a lot of it, so that's not going to help. But yeah, if you're optimizing it for someplace that won't get rid of it, definitely fill out as much of that as you can. Ronan says, how are you finding chatbots? They're good. It's a nice way to communicate, but I think the click-through rate that's advertised is not nearly as good as people say it is. Either that or I suck at writing good messages, but it definitely helps, and I definitely get a lot of clicks every time I send out a broadcast with it. And I try to be super conservative with the way I do it, so it's definitely worth it. Jason and Erica are here. What's up, guys? What's your take on them? I guess I kind of answered that. Can we talk on the burning coals at the conference? Superstar cult. Maybe we'll just have you do that, not anybody else. Let's check out YouTube. Logan says, small tip for VAs is I send them video tutorials sometimes on certain stuff. It's easier than explaining it sometimes. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure, when there's a new task, I make a video for them. And this is where it goes back to like getting to know each of them individually. I make a video and explain things in ways that I know that they'll get. So hopefully that makes sense. Asim says on the event question, will it be an event where you can meet you in person and hopefully Jeff as well to share experiences and ask questions? Yes, I am in and willing to book my ticket now. Yeah, I mean, I literally it's an embryo of an idea, but that's kind of what I had in mind. Like, I really don't have any more information than that. But man, idea is really seeming to pick up a lot of steam. So definitely going to start working on it, but it won't be until next summer because it would be impossible to plan something for this summer, and Myrtle Beach absolutely sucks every other time of the year. So next summer, I'll start getting the details on that together as soon as I can. I'm glad that there's so much interest, though. That's surprising to me. Any advice on creating a good Upwork profile? Kind of the same thing I would say about a good Legiit profile is to have a nice, clean, professional-looking headshot, a descriptive description, and just really present yourself as elite, even if you got no experience to back it up. Like, present yourself as someone that they're lucky if you work with them. So, write out as much detail as you can, brag as much as you can, highlight the things that you're proud of, have a clean looking profile picture. And yeah, that's about it. Matt says, how do you differentiate yourself from all the other crap SEO agencies when selling clients? That's tough because there's a lot of bad ones out there. A lot of it comes to the way you present yourself, not just like physically, but present it. It's kind of a tough question to answer, but acknowledge that there are bad ones, explain why you're different, and explain that they're getting the elite. Like, the key is to make them feel lucky that you're willing to work with them, that you don't just take on anybody and spam them to the top. You're not like those other agencies or people that contact them on a regular basis. For doing outreach, say that you can even get cocky about it and be like, I have X, Y, Z, 4 number of openings, and I felt like you would be a great fit for that. If you don't have time to talk about it, that's okay. Otherwise, let's sit down and talk for 10 minutes about seeing if we're going to be a good fit for me to help your business like I've helped these others. Like, maybe that's a little too cocky, but always, always, always come off as confident. And it's better to be overconfident than underconfident. So that's kind of what I do is present. In my mind, I convince myself that I'm the elite, and I present myself that way. So I hope that helps some. It's tough, though, because, there's so much spam. Like, I was talking about LinkedIn the other day, and I just get as the guy who says my name on there is Chris M. Walker, Superstar SEO, get people spamming me SEO offers all day long. So it's definitely tough. So try to present yourself as elite as possible. So Asim says, back to SEO related questions. Mike says, do you do live webinars for the private academy group? Yes, I do. Jeff and I get on every other week and do a Q&A where you can ask questions all day long, and we'll answer all of them as best as we can. So that's part of the deal. You get a live webinar every 2 weeks, and I'm thinking about doing one myself, a weekly one myself. And Asim and everybody else, don't ask me the details on it yet, because again, it's just an embryo of an idea. But I'm thinking of doing one myself where I teach kind of a business/mindset lesson to kind of get people thinking in ways that I think will help them a lot. So I'm thinking about doing one of those too. I haven't even talked about that with Jeff yet, but it'll be something that just I do if we do it. But yes, you do get live webinars. You get one every other week with Jeff and I where we'll answer your questions. And if we have anything in particular to cover, we do that too. These AMAs that I do for the free group and for YouTube are just kind of for fun. And to be perfectly honest, to sell you stuff sometimes too. So Alan says, thank you. Thank you. Russell Freddie Edmonds says, Chris, have you got any good book recommendations on how to brand yourself? I am not a big book reader. So no, I really don't. One that I really like though is what is it? Be Obsessed by Grant Cardone. It's not specifically about branding, but he teaches you to kind of do what I was just telling Matt, to consider yourself the elite and present yourself that way. And that book is one of my favorites. So that's the best I can answer on that. I don't really read a lot, though. I probably should. But Haji says, who is Scott? He was on a few weeks ago. He talked about, you were on that one, I remember. Talked about how he specializes in dental SEO and niching down your agency and things like that. He's one of the moderators here in the group. He's a good friend of mine and really, really expert SEO. And he did that. So he's going to be handling the AMA for me in a couple weeks. So I think you'd remember him if you saw him, because I remember you being on that specific webinar. Or not webinar, but AMA. Aaron says, hey, what's up, Aaron? Haven't seen you in a while. Christopher just joined. What's up, Christopher? Mike says, thanks. Jeff says, if you missed the webinar, it's uploaded to the members area as well. So yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Join to find out, Jeff. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Adrian says, hi, Chris. Do edu and .org are much better than .com? If you mean for backlinks, .org is no different. .edu, if it's a good .edu, it can be pretty powerful. There's some spammy ones out there for like where they have blogs that the students can have. Those don't help much, but a good edu link can hit pretty hard. Russell Freddie Edmonds says, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Russell Freddie Edmonds. All right. Asim says, question number 5. One of my pages is ranking in spot number 5 for a keyword that has 750 exact searches per month, yet there is no traffic. Is that true that the first 3 spots get 90% of the traffic? That could be part of it. I would work on your meta description a little bit and maybe the meta title without sacrificing the SEO elements of that, and try to make it a little bit more enticing. I think that might help some. So do things like that to help the click-through rate. So Asim says, so is it worth the effort to push this page from 5 to 1? Oh, absolutely. It's just getting harder to outrank the top 3, and I want to make sure it's worth it. To me, it's always worth it to keep going. Maybe that's just ego on my part, but yes, I think it's worth it. Sorry, I swear I'm allergic to something in this room. But yeah, definitely go for it. As far as getting the traffic, play around with the meta title and meta description some. That might help get you a little bit more. Logan says, thoughts on scholarship links? I don't do them. That's a scam. Not a scam, but a trick to me. And they've already gotten penalized in some places, and I would just avoid it. There's better ways to do your link building. Aaron says, been on vacation for a couple. I don't recognize that. No, I'm just playing. Back to the grind. Glad to have you back. And don't let this go to your head or anything, but I legitimately wondered where you've been the last couple of weeks because you're usually pretty regular about this. So I'm going to grab some water. Christopher says, Gary Vee has a new book / audiobook called Crushing It. Yeah, I checked it out. That talks heavily about branding. That's actually a good one. I forgot about that. Let me stop interrupting myself. Gary Vee has a new book / audiobook called Crushing It. Second book that talks heavily about branding, including sharing stories from entrepreneurs and various niches that have used social media to brand and grow a business. Worth checking out, Russell. Yeah, you're right. I forgot all about that one. That is a good one. Haji says, cool, that's what I thought. Will be exciting. I remember Scott, just wanted to be sure. He runs a successful dental SEO agency, right? Cool. Yes, he does. Cool deal. Yeah, I think everybody enjoyed that one a lot. And I mean, to publicly thank, I'm sure I'll thank him again before then, but I want to thank him for taking that over for me for the week. So there you go. Adrian says, hi, Chris. Do you have tutorial on how to use Google aggregate rating schema? No, I don't know how to do it. I mean, I've copied it, used it once, but it would literally be me going, go over here and copy this and put in your information. I don't really know how to do it. Maybe ask Jeff if that's something he knows, and we can go from there and see, maybe get it in the training. But I don't know much about it. So let's see if we got any questions on Instagram yet. If I don't drop my phone. Come on. It's being very difficult today. Nobody's asking me any questions. That hurts my feelings. Very sensitive. Russell Freddie Edmonds says, thanks, Christopher Tilley. Jeff says we have the rating in the training already. There you go. I haven't even gotten to that point yet, so I need to go check that out myself. So who was that? That was Adrian, right? So there you go. Check out, if you're not in the academy, just check out the $1 trial, or just sign up regularly if you prefer to do that. And check it out. Make sure I didn't miss any questions anywhere else. Alrighty. Got a lot of people on still, so hit me up. Hit me. I was gonna say hit me up. Don't hit me up. Just taking a look at who's watching now. There's very few of you I'd want to actually hit me up, but hit me with more questions and I'll keep knocking them down for you. I enjoy doing this. I haven't plugged anything in a while, so let's go ahead and do that. Check out superstarseo.com/trial for a $1 trial for 14 days with Superstar SEO Academy. You'll also get access to Superstar Maps Mastery, Superstar Local Video Mastery, and Superstar SEO Consulting Mastery for agency pros. $1, and it's the best thing that you'll ever do in your entire life. The end. Ism says, what are you up for in the weekend? I don't really have a lot planned this weekend. I may go see a friend of mine who works at this place called Broadway at the Beach here in Myrtle Beach, but I may also just stay in. So I'm not a big weekend guy, but I've been making an effort to go out and do more things, even if I don't want to, because I need to get out more. Alan says, for the gentleman asking about schema, the plugin is great. WP SEO schema plugin. There you go. Christopher said, lots of Christophers on today. Christopher says, thanks, Chris, for sharing your stuff with us. Oh, no problem. And like I say, I really, really enjoy this, and I really like talking with everyone and giving back. So I'm glad you enjoy it. Hi, Chris. Adrian says, hi, Chris. You don't have to say hi every time. I appreciate it, though. He says, do you know how to do rich media citations? So you mean things like, when I think of rich media, I think of like presentation sharing sites and Flickr and Photo Bucket and things like that. If so, then yeah, I mean, you just put, your NAP and stuff in and link in them. So if that's not what you mean, then maybe clarify, but that's what I think of as rich media citations. And those I do know how to do, Vimeo, what have you. Logan says, how do you stay so humble? I see you're not very materialistic. I don't know how to answer that without sounding not humble. I don't know. To me, stuff has just never mattered. I've got more now than I ever had when I was growing up, and even as an adult. And I don't know. I enjoy my life the way it is, and I don't see any reason to have to go take trips and buy cars and fancy houses and stuff. So it sounds cliche, but I'm just being myself, and that stuff just doesn't appeal to me. I don't know why. So it says, compared to others in the online marketing community. Yeah, maybe it's because I had success in online marketing a little later in my life than some people have. I'm going to be 40 in a couple of weeks, and a lot of them are in like the early 20s and even in their teens. So maybe that's part of it, but I don't know. I just don't care. You know what I mean? For me, it's just, I live a very inexpensive life. Like my life costs me about $2,000 a month. And I don't know. It's not important to me. I just prefer giving back and doing more things to help other people. So I hope that answers that. Asim says, Logan, great question. You literally read my mind. I was thinking like how a guy like Chris with that income level does not drive all these fancy girls. I assume you meant cars, etc. Yeah, I don't know. I am probably going to get a nicer car soon, but I'm very, very utilitarian, meaning that if there's not a use for it, I don't do it. And there's literally no use for me to buy all the stuff that I don't need and to show off. I don't care. Like, for me, it's more important to build things that are going to matter, to build things that even if I'm gone someday, that people will still use or remember. So that's the best answer I can say for that. Snag Success says, do you think local SEO is harder or global SEO? Hey, I'm giving a shout out to Iman. I haven't done a ton of global SEO. I assume you mean like national and international. Probably that, just because there's more competition. So, Asim says, I meant fancy cars. Sorry. I knew what you meant, but it just gave me a chuckle. Carl says, when you have two pages in the SERPs ranking next to each other, the page you want to rank and the homepage, would this maybe suggest keyword cannibalization? As a side note, most of my links point to the homepage at the minute. Yeah, that probably means that you're one is cannibalizing the other. That said, if they're ranking on the first page, then who cares? But if it's lower in the SERPs, I would de-optimize the one that you don't want to rank. Haji says, how do you decide which content to keep in the group /academy/courses for sale and which on YouTube? Webinar for free or to get leads? You believe in giving up your best stuff for free? I struggle with this. It's very cliche, though, and that is something I struggle with, too. I try to give something, when I do free stuff, I try to give something that's valuable in itself, that somebody can take it and run with it, but it's not necessarily the whole picture. I don't want to call it like a teaser or anything like that, because it is, I think, valuable in and of itself. But with a course, it's the entire blueprint, like start from nothing and go up to success. When I make a YouTube video, like the one I made about retargeting the other day, that's just one way to do retargeting and to do ads. You can take what I taught in that video and turn it into a whole thing, but it's not the whole thing. So that is definitely a balance. And some other people that do courses give it away for free, and that would piss me off if I was in one of their courses. Pardon my language, but it's a balance. You got to find it. But I think that's kind of the answer, is to the stuff you do for free, make sure it's valuable and it's complete in itself, but don't give away the entire system. So I hope that answers that for you. That's a great question. Stag Success. How long do you think it will take to learn SEO to get a client who pays $500 per month, assuming you got the client? No time at all. Like, you don't have to know SEO to get a client. Not that I'm saying that you shouldn't learn your craft, because you should, but those are independent things. Being able to sell is different than being able to do SEO. To do SEO at the level you need for a $500 client would not take much time at all, though. Because honestly, all you should be doing for that is citations, foundational links, and maybe a PBN link or two a month. So to rank them and stuff, yeah. Again, it depends on you, of course, how much time you're willing to put into learning how well, and this is no offense to anybody, but how well you learn, how quickly you learn, how easily you learn. But I don't know. I would think that you should have enough skill in 2 to 3 months for something like that. And if you get the right mentors, trainers, that sort of thing, and blueprint that out, like if they give you the blueprint, you can just plug in the information and it shouldn't take long at all. So SEO is not nearly as intimidating as people make it out to be. Like, the process is really straightforward, and you kind of know it just from having surfed the internet without even realizing it. So if you want a hard number, I would say 2 to 3 months. So hopefully that helps with that. Adrian says, how about social citations? What are these? I'm not really familiar with that term, but if you mean, it could mean like Facebook pages where you put your name, address, phone number, and website on them. I'm not really familiar with that term, though. Russell Freddie Edmonds says, looking good for 40, man. Oh, well, thank you. Runs in my family. My grandfather was in his 90s when he passed away, and routinely got people telling him he looked like he was in his 60s or 70s. So thank you. Matt says, if you build 20 to 30 foundational link blogs in the roofing niche, for example, can I use these same 20 to 30 link blogs to link to 10 money sites in the same niche? Or do I need to create 20? The safest thing is to create them for every money site, but you probably get away with that. As long as you're not overdoing the cross-linking. So as long as you don't have like all 10 of the blogs pointing to all 10 of the same money sites, but you can probably get away with that a little bit. Do you need citations for a link, a like, and affiliate marketing? Do you need citations? I'm assuming you mean for a link, and no, you don't need them. You can do them though. Like a global website. Yeah, you can do it because it's a nice link, but you don't need them. Michael says, how was the concert you went to the other week? Oh, that was so much fun. It was like a high school reunion. And there was so many, not just the band, but like so many people I knew from so many places were there that I hadn't seen in years. And like, that was kind of the same for everybody there. So it was so much fun. Like I was like sad for a day afterwards because it was so much fun. So it was great. Thanks for asking about that. It was like the best time I've had in forever. Snag Success says, what is foundation links? Is that Web 2.0s? You recommend doing Web 2.0s for local stuff, local SEO and stuff? Yeah, a foundational link is kind of right there in the name. It's the foundation of your site. So these are things like Web 2.0s, profile links, citations, social media profiles, social bookmarks, things like that. These are kind of the first things that you do for every site, and they build the foundation that the rest of your SEO campaign sits on. You recommend doing Web 2.0s for local stuff? Yeah, Web 2.0s are great. Snag Success says, do you buy social bookmarking? I thought it once from Fiverr and website guy. Like you have to do it in a smart way. Don't just go buy, 10,000 social bookmarks, but if you work them in as part of your campaign, then they have their place. I wouldn't buy anything from Fiverr though, except for maybe like some creative stuff every now and then. Christopher says, for being new to SEO, one way you can go about it, I suppose, is you can close your first client, which is a learning process in itself. Then you can use services on Legiit to fill client services while you learn SEO yourself. You can also gain some insight through seeing what Legiit sellers are doing in their delivered reports. Cash flow while you learn. Yeah, exactly. Asen says, how did you meet Jeff? If I may ask this question. He bought something from me on that. I have a coach in my academy. I reached out to him, and that's how that started. So that's two of my business partners, both Jim, who is my partner in Legiit, and his agency is responsible for the development. He's somebody I met through a Conquer sale. He bought some Source Machine accounts from me. And then Jeff, I think he bought maybe Social Signals or something. I'm not sure. But I met him that same way. So the two biggest things in my business right now, both of the partners were people that bought from me on a marketplace. For those of you selling on Legiit, pay attention to that. Make sure you connect with your clients, your customers on there, and build relationships with them, because you never know. Scott is also somebody I met as a Conquer customer. So, I don't know how else to emphasize this point. It's so important to build those relationships, and it's such a great lead gen tool to turn your little freelancing business into whatever you want to turn it into. So, Snag Success says, can you rank websites without buying anything like social bookmarks, PBN links, and such? Assuming it's somewhat competitive. You can, but it's going to take longer and be very difficult. Snag Success says, what is Source Machine? It doesn't exist anymore. It was a link building software. What SEO tools do you recommend for a global SEO? Every time I say you say global SEO, I think of Iman, because that's his brand name. It's global SEO. Guide where you make affiliate websites to make money. Tool. You don't really need a lot of tools for affiliate. I would get a really good keyword research tool there. Either SERPT or BuzzSumo, which I cannot stop raving about. Some of these guys are probably sick of hearing me talk about it. Or keywordtool.io. Get really good with your keyword tools, or your keyword research for affiliate, because that's really the trick. Check out a video I did on YouTube. I want to say it was like a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, about keyword research, and I think that'll help you a lot. The keyword research tools, though, those are the three I would use. And for affiliate, that's really what's important, because that's like 3/4 of the battle. Asim said, and both are really great people like you. And let us add Amber to the list. There you go, Amber. A little shout out from Asim. I'm blessed to meet the four of you. Well, thank you, Asim. That I think I can speak for all of us when I say we appreciate that. You cannot imagine how much great progress I'm making with my SEO. Feel optimistic to hit my goals by the end of 2018. Well, that's awesome, Asim. I'm glad to hear that for you. I really appreciate that. Snag Success says, okay, so what about local SEO? If you mean tools, I would go with SERPT, because it just does so many different things. That's SERPT.net. So if you need a link for that, let me know. Great thing about SERPT is it works really well when you use it through my affiliate link. For real though, if you have to get one for local SEO, that's the one I would get. One and only one, that is. Oh, wow, lots of questions over here. Adrian says, what is the best tool to find do-follow backlinks? I'm not sure what you mean by find them, but you can use Ahrefs and SERPT and Majestic to analyze your competition's backlinks and see if there are links that you can also get that they have, whether it be directories or whatever. That's probably the best answer I can get to that. Russell Freddie Edmonds says, Chris, going to be testing on embedding schemas into Web 2.0s. Was wondering if something you've tried and tested already. No, not a ton. Alan Leanouts, who I haven't seen around lately, but he was real big on that sort of thing. So maybe catch up with him and see if it's something he has advice on. But I really don't know as much about schema as it sounds like I need to. So no, I don't really have an answer for you there. Any free tools for keyword research? Keywordtool.io gets you some free stuff. BuzzSumo isn't a keyword research tool, although it should be used for keyword research. It's just buzzsumo.com. Now, that's an absurdly expensive tool. And the only reason I have it is because I got a 50% discount a while back. But the stuff it does is just so powerful. So I don't know what else to tell you on that. But if you want a free keyword research tool, check out, and I'll drop it in there for you. I think you only get limited data. Oh, and another keyword research tool that's free is Keywords Everywhere. I've had that so long that I forget about it because it's like second nature. Logan says KW Finder. Yeah, that's a good one too. I don't think that's free though. And then there you go. Those two, I believe, are both free, and they'll help you quite a bit. Grab some water. Oh no, we're almost out. Didn't make it. Uber Suggest. Yes, that's another good one. Uber Suggest. What's the best tool for blogger outreach? Probably Ninja Outreach. Ultimately, I think just doing it manually is, but probably Ninja Outreach. Stag says these tools are expensive for the paid one. Yeah, I know. Keyword research tools are overpriced, in my opinion. Check out Uber Suggests. That's another cheap one though, or another free one though. SEMrush, yeah, SEMrush has a few searches per month. I'm not a big SEMrush fan, so I always forget about it. But yeah, that's another one you can use. Might be a nice blog post, keyword research tools. Maybe I'll get Ish to write one of those for me, because I have no patience for writing blog posts myself. Let's see if we got any Instagram questions. Turn on the Wi-Fi. Maybe it's working now. No questions. Instagram, I thought we had something special. If you want to see other people, I guess that's okay. Snag says, I feel like word count really helps a lot on ranking websites. For affiliate sites, it really does, because you can get a lot of variations of your keyword in there and things like that. So you can go a lot more with that. Just don't sacrifice both the way the site converts and the overall user experience. Because I can't speak for everybody, but I know I'm not going to read a 6,000 word article, no matter how good it is. So Perry joined. What's up, Perry? Adrian says, hi, Chris. How to get to level 4 on Legiit? Currently, I'm level 3. There's like 45 data points that we collect, but overall, if you sell a lot of stuff, do a good job, and communicate quickly and effectively, your ranking will keep going up. I'm not going to give away the exact formula because we're SEOs and we like to manipulate formulas, and that's what'll happen. But if you're already level 3, that means you're doing great. So just sell some more stuff, do a good job, and talk to people, and you'll continue to go up. Stag says, do you ever build out your own Web 2.0s or just buy from Legiit or Conquer? I don't buy anything from Conquer anymore. I got banned. But I'm at the point in my business where I don't do much of any of the day-to-day SEO tasks myself. I'll either have someone on my staff do them or I'll buy some. That said, if you're strapped for budget and you have the time, there's no reason you shouldn't do it yourself. Why did I get banned off of Conquer? Because I turned all my services into legit sales pages. And I was literally asking for it. Like, there's no hard feelings there. If somebody did what I did on Conquer on Legiit, I'd ban them too. So Jordan says, up, down, left, right, gets you level 4. Most people here are too young to get that reference, but I got it. Perry says, yo. Isn't that a rapper? I should probably leave. This is why I should not be doing comedy. Jamie is here. What's up, Jamie? Isn't that the contra code? Oh, well, Snag got the joke. Although the nerd in me wants to point out that you didn't give the whole thing. Because isn't it up, down, left, right, BA, start? All right, and any girls that were watching have now signed off. Select BA start. Yeah. Didn't really like that game. Do you have any free courses? Yes, I do. And then once you sign up for that one, hit up my support and ask them for Legiit Business Accelerator, and I'll add you to that too, even though there's like only 10% of the way done. But I dropped the link in there for you, so sign up for that one, and then hit up my support, which there's a link on the top, and they'll hook you up with another one too. Man, this is one of the most interactive groups we've had in a while. Russell Freddie Hedman says, Jordan forgot your L2. I don't know what that means. Perry says, what cool features should we expect, legit features should we expect coming up? I don't like to give out too much, but within the next day or two, we're going to have custom offers. That's been by far the most requested feature, and that'll be live soon. So there's that, and then I'm going to keep the rest of the stuff to myself for now. Ben says, hey, Chris, I had a question about the Maps Mastery while you're taking questions. You mentioned the strategy of building custom maps is still working, even with they're not de-indexed, they're just not indexed. There's a difference. And no one said they're no follow. Should be I thought I answered this. All right, let me stop interrupting myself. I know that's annoying. Hi, Chris. I had a question about the Maps Mastery while you're taking questions. You mentioned that the strategy of building custom maps is still working, even with the de-indexed maps and no follow links. Should we still be using this? Can you explain how it works without the indexed maps and do follow links? First of all, they're not de-indexed. It's just that Google isn't indexing them anymore. De-indexed means they've seen your site, link, whatever, and decided that it's bad and removed it. With these, they have chosen to no longer add them to the index because they don't provide value to the searcher. That doesn't mean they don't know they exist and don't value the maps. They wouldn't offer that feature if it wasn't something that was helpful. I don't know where you got the links or no follow. I haven't read that anywhere else, so I can't comment on that. This is just one part of the maps ranking strategy, because I remember this question in the group now. And you asked me if that means the maps course is not going to work at all, and it absolutely will. That was one video in the course, and it's one part of one strategy that's still helpful. You're still getting links, and even if they were no follow, which I don't think is correct, but I could be wrong. There's still a citation. There's still a Google property. They're just not being indexed because I don't know for a fact, but I suspect because if you Google a term and a Google map, my map showed up, would that give you the information that you wanted from that search? Probably not. That's probably why they chose to not index them any longer. So I hope that helps. That you're still getting a NAP from them. You're still getting a link from them. You're still getting a link from a Google property from them. And I still get good results from them. The only difference is they aren't going to rank on their own. So I think that answers that. If not, let me know, and I hope that helps. Jamie says, missed most of it. I'll watch what I missed later. Cool. That's one thing that Facebook Lives are great for. Hey, Judah says, hey, Chris, I'm curious about your relationship with SEOs like Josh Baninsky and Alex Becker. I don't know who Josh Bakinski is, but Alex, I wouldn't call him an SEO, but I'm in his private mastermind, and I've worked with him, and he's been a good mentor and a good friend to me. So as he's someone I have a lot of respect for, I still learn from, and I still like on a personal basis. Snag says, wait, so the new one is business? No, that's just something I gave away with part of a survey a while back. But if you sign up for the free SEO course I linked you to, and then ask my support, they'll hook you up with that too. Also, what is the paid course you have, which helps with making and ranking affiliate sites? Also, what about local one you recommend? I don't have one specifically for affiliate. Overall, my academy is my most complete course. That's superstarseo.com/trial for $1 trial on that. That's my most comprehensive course. And it does cover affiliate and local. I don't have separate courses for each of those, though. What do you think about white hat SEO? I believe in work hat SEO, meaning I do whatever works. Some of it's white hat, some of it is not. I don't even really know what each of those things mean. I just do what works. Snag says, thoughts on Neil Patel? He's done a great job of building a brand and a name for himself. I don't really read his content, but a lot of SEOs could learn about building a business from him. So I'll leave it at that. Matt says, do you itemize any of your SEO process and proposals? Like you'll get 50 social branded? No, absolutely not. No. I do that with my DFY service, but no, because then you'll end up building links that you don't need to build, which will cut into your profit and maybe even make your SEO worse. And you're turning yourself into an employee who has to report to them that, look, here's what I did. So no, I tell them I will get them XYZ results, not what steps I'm going to do. Because as soon as you start doing that, you turn yourself into an employee that has to report. And then you lose all the power in the relationship. Jamie says, I use a plugin that marks out no follow links. The links have started to be no follow links only recently. Oh, well, there you go. Thanks for answering. Chrome extension. Snag says, what if Google changes algorithm and all your SEO relies on building GSA links and black hat stuff? Nobody, I don't know anyone whose entire SEO relies on that. Wouldn't your site be gone in the long term? If you are doing any one thing, then yeah, your site deserves to go away after an algorithm. But I don't know anyone that does just GSA and I don't really know what you mean by black hat, but I don't know anyone that relies on building GSA links. And I'm not trying to be like hard-headed about saying I don't know what black hat means. It means different things to different people. So what if it's like black hat stuff, like self-made web 2.0s? I don't know why you would think that would be black hat. Like creating a web 2.0 is a perfectly natural thing to do. Most businesses are going to create, their Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, so on. So why wouldn't you also create a Weebly, Tumblr, WordPress, etc., just to have every variation of your URL? That's not black hat at all. All right. What else have we got? Let me try one more time for Instagram, and then I'm just going to take it that she's just not that into me. I'm familiar enough with that in my life. Really, Logan? Really? Logan says, feels bad no one is asking through this. Laugh out loud. Thanks, buddy. And that is actually the only question I've gotten so far. I can only imagine some of the questions that women must get on those things. Guys suck. I thought it was against the terms of service of Google. Anything that's done to increase your ranking is against the terms of service of Google. So that's why I think there's no difference between white and black hat. What's your favorite rank tracker? If I only have a few, I like SERPed. Otherwise, I like Pro Rank Tracker. Overall, none of them work as well as they should, though. Well, as well as I'd like. Adrian says, how powerful is Reddit? I think it's pretty powerful. Like, you get a nice do follow link from it if you do it right. It's very interactive. It's easy to get indexed, and it's pretty powerful. Like, and if you use it the way it's intended and you do it strategically, you can get some good traffic from it too. Back in the day when I first started doing affiliate SEO, like that was how I got into SEO. I had my my Get Rid of Cable site, and I would find a reason to post to the Get Rid of Cable subreddit, and it would drive tons of traffic to it. That said, the people on Reddit can be very, very particular, so you got to learn the rules. What are your thoughts on Franklin Hatchett? I've talked to him a couple times. He seems like a good dude. He's done a good job of building a brand for himself. Seems like he's gotten more into e-com now, but he's a good dude, and yeah, I like him well enough. Also, what is the best person to follow for SEO other than you? For actual SEO, Gabriel, I can't pronounce his last name, Marochet puts out some good stuff. There really aren't as many as there used to be. A lot of them stick to blogs and stuff, and I know most people don't want to read, but who else? Who else is good? Who else do I watch? I'm drawing a blank, and I feel like I'm being a jerk here because I should have names ready. But Ryan Stewart, he doesn't put out much anymore, but I like him. Matthew Woodward still is okay. He's kind of been quiet lately too. Those are kind of the main ones. I'm forgetting someone. I know I am, but most of them don't put out stuff that much anymore. So do meetup links still work to rank a site in just a week? Yeah. I mean, I haven't made one in a while, but the ones I made ages ago are still pinned number one. Pisses me off on one of them. I can't outrank it no matter what I do. So yeah, still a good link to get. No, like actual updated SEO stuff, which works in 2018, not the outdated stuff. I don't know, man. There aren't that many that put them out. There's one person that puts out a lot of content, but I haven't watched it, so I can't really recommend it. I don't have a good answer for you beyond that, other than the big names, the Brian Deans and Neil Patels and things like that. So, didn't Ryan sell his agency? Yeah, he did, but he's still involved with it and still doing things. Are you a millionaire? Depends on how you look at it. I don't really like talking about my personal money, but I have generated millions of dollars in sales. I'll put it that way. Alan says, Matt has joined. What's up, Matt? Alan says, what do you think of Charles Float and his blog? I've only talked to him once, and he was very pleasant to talk to. I've read a few of his articles, and they seem good. I'm always reluctant to talk about him because I know people have strong feelings about him. So, all right, we've been here for about 90 minutes, and we're still going strong. It's probably one of the better sessions we've had. Not that they're not all great. We'll give it another few minutes. I'm starting to get a little hungry, though. How long do you think it'd take to learn SEO, even though I know basic SEO? Get an affiliate site up and start making livable wage income. If you want to make your money off of affiliate, it's going to take a while to make enough to live off of. You really got to commit to it, put out a lot of content. So if you want to make it purely on affiliate, 6 months to a year. If you want to do a client, you can literally have that by the end of the week. So just depends on what route you want to go. Would local SEO for clients be easier than that or affiliate? Easier, you'll get more money more quickly with local SEO clients because you're one phone call away from having a lot of money in your hand. Where affiliate, you got to get the site, build it, write content, get it ranked, get it to convert, and then scale it. With client, you literally, you can send an email, make a call, however you get your clients, and have money right away. So if we're talking about speed, it's definitely local. I would go as far as to say the SEO is easier too. Cody says, what up, Chris? What's up, Cody? How long did it take you to scale your agency while you were working full time? I was kind of nibbling at the edges for a long time and had, a couple clients and it's making, a couple $1,000 a month off it. When I decided to quit my job, I put in my notice in May and my last day ended up being in August. And I built a full-time income in that time because that was like my thinking. That was kind of the kick in the ass that I needed to do that was I needed to get, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I needed to get enough clients to make that like my paycheck so where I could live off of that. So I built that in I guess it was around 90 days. Asim says, snag, man, I finally found someone who asks more questions than I do. Let's not get carried away, Asim. And no, there's no need to say poor, Chris. I love answering questions. Snag says, so in ranking and getting clients, results is easy. So the hard part is just getting clients. I didn't say that. You still have to know what your craft and things like that. But it's the way to get money the fastest. And in my opinion, it's slightly easier. Jamie says, when I ran a building company, I used to get about 5 calls a day from SEOs. Seems like everyone is an SEO. Is it still a profitable business? Nope, I'm dead broke from it. No, it is. You do have to overcome that objection for sure. But no, there's tons. I could literally go through my friends list and point out hundreds of people that make their living doing client SEO. As much as I don't want to call out any names. There's an SEO community that am not that fond of, but they teach heavily client SEO, and they have numerous people that they've gotten to do well with it. Adrian says, man, do you have plans to travel to the Philippines in the future? Love to see you in person and have a bit chit chat. I would like to travel to the Philippines at some point. I was in a relationship with somebody from the Philippines for a long time. And so I know a good bit about the culture, and one of the people that works for me lives in the Philippines. So it is someplace I would like to go at some point. I don't have any specific travel plans, but it's definitely on my bucket list. So to knowing your craft part is easy to learn, correct? I don't know if I'd say it's easy, but it's important. Too many people get into SEO that don't want to do SEO. So what I mean by that is how do I put this? They want to just get an SEO client and then do none of the work and not understand any of the work. It's okay to outsource, and you should outsource, but you have to learn it yourself and be really proficient at it too. Like a doctor doesn't go to medical school to learn how to be a doctor, to farm out, to not do any of the doctor work. That's not a great analogy, but what I mean by that is be passionate about it, learn it, and live it, breathe it, like get better at it, learn different techniques, and just keep working at it. Don't just, I guess what I mean is a lot of times when I ask someone what SEO they've done, when I look at their site, the answer I get is a list of services they bought with like no rhyme or reason to them, and like no pattern and no blueprint or anything like that. So learn what you're doing and be really skilled at it. Like that's what'll separate. And this goes back to something I think it was Matt asked earlier, is how you differentiate yourself. That's another way, is to be really skilled at what you do. Like be proud of the work that you do and be really good at it. So hopefully that answers that for you. I'm scared of getting a client and not getting any results for them. So that's why I'm asking. That's okay. Get yourself into a community where there are people that can help you. Get, some training so you kind of have a blueprint, but don't be afraid to get paid to learn. So get the client and then use the, 500,000, whatever you get from them, to buy some training, and then execute on that training while you're getting paid. There's no, if you set their expectation right and let them know it'll be 4, 6, 12 months, whatever it is, they'll have the patience for it, and you'll be able to learn as you go, and you'll have some money to fuel that, to motivate you to learn faster too, faster and better. So that's a genuine concern. And I remember having that same concern myself, but don't be afraid to go out and get the business and then learn as you go. If you're worried about having the credibility to get the business, then, just go create a nice site. There's a video on my channel that shows how to do that for like $12, to go from having nothing to having an agency. So don't be afraid to get paid to learn, I guess is how I respond to that. It's a legitimate fear, but if you get into a good community and have some nice training, you'll be able to do it, and you'll be able to be a success. Look at the post I made in the group today. It was from 2 years ago today. It was me announcing that I was quitting my job to do SEO. I was absolutely terrified at the time that I would let my clients down, or I'd let myself down, and I just can't explain how well it's gone since then. So don't be afraid. It's normal, but you can do it. You have access to all the tools and all the information you need to do it. And if it's something you want to do, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world to go out and be good at it and do it. So my recommendation is to go for it. Figure out what you want to do and go for it. So I hope that answers that, and I hope that helps for you. If you don't know what group I mean, check out superstarseo.com/Facebook, and that's where that post was. Jamie says, I'm planning on setting up a few rank and rent sites. Are they worth doing? I have an address I can use for maps in a few different areas. How many businesses is too many to register for a single address? When I do rank and rent, I don't do Google My Business. I just do organic rankings. But yeah, it's absolutely worth doing. It's an easier sale if you can get someone that understands it. But I don't do the Google business side of it when I do it. I just do organic. So hopefully that answers that. I don't want to tell you to do something that I don't do. Ron says, thanks, Chris. Got to run. Have a meeting. All right, Ron. Good luck. Hope it's a good meeting. Matt says, thanks, Chris. Jordan says, all SEOs should have at least gone through the entire process themselves at least once or twice or more. That's why you outsource or have VAs. Yeah, I agree with that to an extent. I'm not opposed to someone who's not super familiar with it going and getting a client, as long as they're willing to learn and work at the same time and have a good group around them. All right. So the questions are starting to die down a bit. I'll give it another, it's 4:41. I'll give it to 4:45 and then we'll wrap it up. So if you got anything else, hit me up. I don't even have any water left to fill this silence. What you should do, though, while we're waiting for more questions, is go over to superstarseo.com/trial and sign up for your 14-day $1 trial for Superstar SEO Academy. Snag says there's no secret tricks to SEO that like most people know. It's just basic info, right? For the most part, yeah. I mean, it's a skill. It's something you have to learn, and it's not something that's for everybody. But no, there's no 301ing the Facebook page over to the drip fed social signals IFTTT ring. Scott has this whole thing he goes into that's hilarious that people want to do that you don't have to do. It's just, build good content, build good links, and have a blueprint for how and when to do it. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, obviously there's more to it than that, but at a 30,000 foot view, that's what it is. Adrian says, gotta go. Thank you, Chris. God bless you and your family. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate that. I appreciate you having all the good questions today and hanging out with us. So, can you cancel the trial anytime you want? Yes. Yes, you can. Although I think that once you get in there and you start digging into it, you won't want to. That's my hope anyway. We've had some great success stories from it. It's really means a lot to me. So, something I remember wanting to do as far back as when I had no business teaching anything. I remember wanting to have an SEO course, and to see it actually come to fruition in the last few months has been really, really special for me. Ladies and gents, we got about 2 minutes left. Any more questions? Asim says, thank you so much, Chris, for your time and for being there for us. Very much appreciate the opportunity to meet you and be a part of this great community, in particular the Academy. Thanks again. Thanks, Asim. Always a pleasure, my man. Snag says, well, thanks. I'm going to head out for some stuff. I will be back in a few minutes. Okay, well, we're probably going to wrap up, but so thanks for being here. And thanks for having all the questions. Got about 2 minutes left. And I'm going to go into my spiel, and then we're going to wrap it up. So if you got any last minute things you want to get in there, now is the time. So observation I'm noticing is that the picture on YouTube is much sharper, even though I have a better camera on the Facebook feed. Wonder why that is. Jamie says, what tools would you say are an essential starting point for setting up an agency? You have to have some sort of link research tool, whether it's Ahrefs, SERP, or Majestic, or one of the others. That's probably the main one I would say that you absolutely have to have. Other than that, there are ways around everything else. Judah says, thank you, Chris. You've been such a help. Oh, thanks a lot, Judah. Hashi says, how can I reach out to Scott? I have some dental SEO questions. Thanks. You can tag him in the group, or you can send him a PM. Just be respectful about it. Don't expect an answer right away, that sort of thing. But I know you would be anyway. But you can tag him in the group or send him a message. I'm sure he'd be okay with that. Judah says, Legiit rocks too. Thank you very much. We're very happy with it, and it's just going to keep getting better. What is Superstar Local Video Mastery course over on Legiit? It's a course. It was my very first course. It's a course that shows you how to rank videos for really low competition terms and either rent them or sell the leads that they generate or use them to get clients. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I am absolutely starving. We've been here for an hour and 45 minutes. Wow, that's awesome. So thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon. Do me a favor and follow me on Instagram so I won't be disappointed when I don't get questions again. It's at Superstar SEO. If you're watching this on YouTube, please join us on Facebook at superstarseo.com/Facebook. If you're watching this on Facebook, please follow me on YouTube at superstarseo.tv. Most important, check out superstarseo.com/trial for a $1 14-day trial of Superstar SEO Academy and learn everything you ever needed to know about SEO. So thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon. It was a great session. Had a ton of fun. Learned some stuff myself. Look forward to seeing you next week. Seeing you around the group. Have a good one.